This is the reality of nuclear war. It's not just a distant threat or a scene from a movie, it's a horrifying possibility that could become our reality. The aftermath is beyond comprehension, a nightmare that leaves nothing but destruction in its wake. The initial blast is just the beginning. The mushroom cloud rises ominously, a harbinger of the devastation that follows. The shockwave spreads out, flattening everything in its path, leaving a trail of ruin and despair. A wave of heat incinerates everything in its path. The temperature soars to unimaginable levels, turning buildings into infernos and reducing anything flammable to cinders. The firestorm rages uncontrollably, consuming everything in its wake. Those caught in the open have no chance. The intense heat and radiation are lethal, leaving no time for escape. Human silhouettes are etched into the ground, a haunting reminder of lives extinguished in an instant. The lucky ones are already dead. For them, the suffering is over. But for those who survive, the nightmare is just beginning. The landscape is littered with lifeless bodies, a grim testament to the power of the blast. The survivors, they envy the dead. Haunted by the memories of what they've witnessed, they struggle to comprehend the magnitude of the disaster. Despair is etched on their faces, a reflection of the hopelessness that grips their hearts. They emerge from the rubble, covered in dust and debris. Many are badly burned. Their clothes are tattered, their skin blistered and charred. They stumble through the ruins, searching for loved ones, for any sign of life amidst the devastation. The air is thick with smoke and the stench of death. Breathing is difficult, each inhalation a painful reminder of the toxic environment. The sky is darkened by the smoke, casting an eerie pall over the roof. The living now face a new horror radiation sickness. It's a silent killer, invisible, insidious. It attacks from within, can be slow and agonizing. Those exposed to high levels of radiation may have only hours or days, others may linger for weeks. There's no cure, only the grim reality of a slow, painful demise. Gone are the familiar sights of civilization. Cities are reduced to rubble, roads are impassable. Communication networks are down, emergency services are overwhelmed, hospitals are destroyed or overflowing with the dying. Help is not coming. Survival depends on self-reliance. The remnants of governments struggle to maintain order, but the infrastructure is gone. Chaos and lawlessness spread like wildfire. It's a fight for survival. Clean water and food become precious commodities. Supplies dwindle rapidly. People fight over scraps. Starvation becomes a real threat. Water sources are contaminated with radiation. Drinking it can be deadly. But thirst can drive people to desperate measures. Those who stored food and water before the bombs fell have a chance. But these supplies won't last forever. The struggle to survive grows, more desperate by the day. Section 5. The Invisible Killer. The threat of radiation doesn't end with the initial blast. Fallout, radioactive dust, spreads with the wind. It contaminates everything it touches. Invisible and deadly, it settles on the ground, in the water, in the food chain. Long-term exposure can lead to cancer, birth defects, and genetic mutations. The air itself becomes dangerous to breathe. Masks and shelters offer some protection, but for many, it's a slow, agonizing death sentence. Section 6. A world on fire. Nuclear explosions ignite massive fires. These infernos rage uncontrolled, consuming everything in their path. The smoke and soot block out the sun. Global temperatures plummet. A nuclear winter sets in. Crops fail, animals die. The planet plunges into an ice age of unimaginable severity. The delicate balance of the ecosystem is shattered. The Earth, once teeming with life, becomes a barren wasteland. Survival becomes a daily struggle against the elements. Section 7. The fight for scraps. In this new world, law and order are distant memories. People form tribes, scavenging for resources. Violence erupts over food, water, and shelter. Trust becomes a liability. Compassion a weakness. The strong prey on the weak. It's a brutal fight for survival, where only the ruthless survive. Humanity's dark side emerges. Morality is a luxury few can afford. The will to live, no matter the cost, becomes the driving force. Section 8. Echoes of the past. Generations born after the war inherit a poisoned world. The air they breathe is thick with the remnants of conflict, and the land they walk on is scarred by the battles of yesteryears. The once thriving cities now stand as ghostly reminders of what was lost. The children who should be the hope of the future play amidst the ruins, their laughter a haunting echo in the desolate landscape. They know nothing but hardship and struggle. Every day is a fight for survival, a relentless quest for the basic necessities of life. Food is scarce and clean water is a luxury. Families huddle together in makeshift shelters, their homes reduced to rubble. The children wear clothes that have been patched and repatched, handed down through generations. Their eyes, though young, carry the weight of the world, a silent testament to the harsh reality they face. The memories of the past live on in whispers and legends. Around the flickering flames of campfires, the elderly recount tales of a time before the war, a time of prosperity and peace. These stories, passed down through generations, are the only link to a world that once was. The children listen with wide eyes, their imaginations painting pictures of a life they can scarcely comprehend. The stories are a mix of fact and fiction, embellished over time, but they serve as a beacon of hope and a reminder of what humanity is capable of. Books, art, music, the treasures of civilization are lost or forgotten. The libraries that once housed the knowledge of the world now they live in is a stark reminder of the folly of their ancestors. The crumbling buildings and barren land are a testament to the destructive power of human ambition. The landmarks that once stood as symbols of progress and achievement are now ruins, overshadowed by the devastation that surrounds them. The survivors walk through this desolate landscape, their footsteps echoing in the silence, a constant reminder of the fragility of peace and the consequences of war. A testament to the destructive power of human ambition and the fragility of peace. The skyline, once dominated by towering skyscrapers, is now a jagged silhouette of destruction. The streets, once bustling with life, are now empty and decaying. War memorials, erected to honor the fallen, stand in ruins, their inscriptions barely legible. These remnants of the past serve as a somber reminder of the cost of conflict and the importance of preserving peace for future generations. Section 9. A New Dawn. But even in the darkest of times, hope flickers. The world as we knew it has crumbled, leaving behind a landscape of desolation and despair. Yet amidst the ruins, a new chapter begins. The dawn of a new era where the remnants of humanity strive to rebuild and reclaim their lives. This is a story of resilience, of communities coming together to forge a path forward, despite the harsh realities of this new world. The environment is unforgiving, yet they learn to navigate its challenges. Protective clothing becomes a second skin, shielding them from the remnants of a world gone awry. They innovate, creating new tools and methods to survive. Their ingenuity knows no bounds as they transform the remnants of the old world into the building blocks of the new.